The NDIS is a new way of providing individualised support for people with impairment or condition that is likely to be permanent or a developmental delay that affects their ability to take part in everyday activities. The NDIS is being implemented by the National Disability Insurance Agency. So you'll hear the jargon of NDIS and you'll hear the NDIA. So NDIA is actually the Commonwealth agency that will be administering the NDIS program. The whole idea is to provide flexible whole-of-life services to participants. So no matter whether it's the early intervention services that we've been doing a lot of capacity building with over the last few years, right through to, I'll say 65 years of age, though there's a whole lot of transitional things. What I think is really good is that because the Commonwealth have the care of both the disability sector and the aged care sector, then they will work out that transitional process between going, you know, when you hit the bump of 65 years of age and how that will and how that will work. So I think it's actually good that it's at one government level. You'll have more choice and control. And so instead of an organisation saying to you, you can have respite on a Monday and a Tuesday, and in the old days I used to have people say, well, you can have a shower on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we can't give you a shower any other time. Right? You'll be able to say, no, I'm not putting up with that. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to get included into my support plan. And I think that's the key when we're talking about NDIS, is actually having the ability to be able to articulate what are the goals that you want to set, what are those absolutely what we call reasonable and necessary supports that I need, or that my child needs, or that the person that I care for needs. So the National Disability Insurance Scheme does talk about reasonable and necessary supports that help a participant to reach their goals, objectives and aspirations, and undertake activities to enable participants' social and economic participation. What are reasonable and necessary supports, I suppose, is what you're saying, to help a participant reach your goal. These supports include being able to pursue your goals, objectives and aspirations, increase your independence, increase social and economic participation, and develop your capacity to live actively within the community. That's why it's so good to me that when we talk about social inclusion, this is what NDIS is about too, is that people now can be more involved, not be stuck in a little room down at a disability organisation, that people will be able to access the community just like you and I do, and they have a right to do that. One of the things I really want to encourage you to do is to start to prepare yourself around what is this thing around goals and aspirations. What is this that I need my child or the person I'm caring for, what do they need into the future? And really start to think about all those formal and informal supports. It's about absolutely capturing those supports that you need and start to write it down into that Getting Ready care plan, because when you sit down with your support planner, this is the sorts of things they will be talking about. There's also a whole lot of workshops for various groups, whether you're from CALD communities, Aboriginal communities, or just needing to know more about supported accommodation or preparing and planning for the NDIS. I've put this sheet over there, which is about living life my way, getting prepared. So there'll be a whole lot of things that you could attend throughout all of New South Wales. We've also got some good information there on accessing the NDIS for new participants. I think whilst it's absolutely wonderful that Northern Sydney is sort of first cab off the rank, 1st of July next year, the first people to go across to the NDIA will be people who are currently in the system. And as of the 1st of July, it will be accommodation services and basically your centre-based day programs, because those two go together. Anyone who's in the system now will go across to the NDIA with the same level of supports and funding that they've currently got, because we're handing the funding over to the Commonwealth Government. And that at another point down the track, there'll be some reassessments done on those services. New participants will be picked up after that, so it's meant to be around about a 2-year transition in Northern Sydney, so most probably in the second year, new participants will be picked up in the program. Respite and things like that. In Northern Sydney, anyone basically who's currently in the respite system now, we're individualising their packages from the 1st of July next year, so that they will have more choice and control over the organisations and the types of services that they're being offered, even though respite itself won't be transitioned into the NDIA until later. It actually gives you an opportunity to learn how to shop around. Right, to go to organisations and say, how much service are you going to give me, how much are you going to charge me on an hourly rate, what are your overheads, all of those sorts of things. We've also got some stuff on eligibility requirements, because there are eligibility requirements for the NDIS, that's also over there, and more information for clients and families. So thank you very much for the opportunity of talking here today.